a great man, but look in the mirror. I see a great man, just look in the mirror.
Welcome to the King's Reserve, where I reserve the right to tell you my thoughts, and you reserve the right not to listen. Welcome back, Reserve Nation crew. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share what you found here at the King's Reserve. Understand? I'm King James, international DJ, short film director, music video producer, entrepreneur, and TV show creator. Let's get started tonight with American Guide on Driver's License. This is an American driver's license. How do you get an American driver's license? All right? How do you get an American driver's license? All right. So tonight, we're gonna talk about a few steps. First of all, before you are able to get an American driver's license, you must be able to read the learner's permit book. So if you've been driving a tractor trailer in a different country, you've been driving the longest thing tractor trailer in Trinidad, you know what I mean? You the fastest driver in Barbados, busting the corners, everything. You know what I mean? You the wickedest taxi driver from out of Jamaica. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You will have to retake the entire test. And you will have to do it as if you have never done it before. The first thing is you need to get yourself the learner's permit book. You need to read that book from cover to cover. And you say to yourself, what are you talking about? The roundabouts are the same. The stop sign is the same. This is the same. All this stuff. Okay. You will be able to pass, but they're not the same. You see like how America took our rugby and call it football, and took our football and call it soccer. Just imagine. And then took everybody wanted to drive on the other side of the road. And they wanted to drive on the right side of the road. You see that? Just imagine that in the book. Nothing is in the book that you know. Everything is in the book you're familiar with because you are a driver. But everything in there needs to be reread. Octagon sign for the stop sign. All these things need to be reread. There are different rules in there, different way of doing things, different interpretation for the same thing. You know what I mean? So it's very important to read that book. First, to read that book from cover to cover. Now, you read the book, you will have to pay somebody to teach you to drive. Can you imagine that? You a drive woman crazy in the Bahamas, right? You a drive woman crazy in the Bahamas. You can drive, but no, you can't drive. But then you come here and you have to sign up for somebody to teach you to drive. Yes, if you want an American driver's license, you will have to pay for a 5-hour driver's license class. You would have to sit in there with that instructor. You would need to have your two hand on the steering as if you were 15. Mind you, maybe you're 30 something now, you know what I mean? And you've been driving all your life, or maybe 20 something, and you reach here. You have to hold the two hand with your instructor, and you gotta, point, turn, and all kind of this turn, and all kind of this turn. You'd have to do all of these things. Whether or not you have had a driver's license for years, all of this has to be redone. So now you have to go to the 5-hour driver's license class. You have to pay somebody this money to teach you to drive, knowing very well you know how to drive. But in order for you to get the driver's license, you must have this 5-hour driver's license class. You must have this 5-hour driver's license class. All right? That is second point. First point was get the book, read the book from hand to hand. The second point is you will have to pay for the driver's license class. All right. We're back. Reserve Nation crew. We are back tonight. We're talking about driver's license, and that is an American driver's license. How to obtain an American driver's license here in America. All right. Tonight on America's Guide, that is what the topic is. So I told you point one, point two. Point one was the fact that you need to read the driver's license handbook or the learner's permit handbook on how to obtain a driver's license. That's the first thing. You need to read that with the rules and regulations and stuff like that. What's the stop sign, you know, how to put the vehicle in park, or if all these kinds of stuff, right? So here's what I'm saying to you. The second point is you will have to pay for a 5-hour class. You will have to drive around with that instructor for 5 hours in order to be qualified for the driver's license. My third rule is this. Our third rule is you need to have 5 points. Okay, I think your social security number is 2 points, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm gonna leave this because I want this, like I said in most of the videos, I want this video to be timeless. So I'm not gonna put exact things in there. Just leave it in the comment if you think I made a mistake and you have the exact amount for, and then put the year where we're talking about this, and it's the exact amount. So yes, about 6 points for you to be qualified. 5 to 6 points for you to be qualified for a driver's license. You need to have a mail that's coming to the address, because remember, a driver's license have an address on it, so you have to have something. One of the easiest way to do is just go get phone bill. Everybody give you a cell phone, and they want you to pay the bill, so they'll give you a cell phone bill in your name. Easy, and to the address, wherever address you want it to come to, and that's where the driver's license is gonna go to. Supermarket cards. Most supermarkets have a card, maybe like a Stop and Shop. I guess Walgreens have a card. CVS should have a card. But we're talking about supermarket cards, so just stick with Stop and Shop and stuff like that. So that should be 1 point. So yeah, so you wanna get up to 6 points. If you don't have a social security, your passport is about 3 points, because it's a government issue ID. Your passport is 2 to 3 points, and that's how it is in most of the states, not all of the states, where you have to accumulate 5 to 6 points to show that you live here in America, you get mail here in America, and this is a government issue ID with your name, issued by the country where you're coming from. A lot of the migrants that I'm seeing right now, they're leaving their passport at the border, like they're just tossing them and stuff like that. I don't know why that is. I don't know why they're doing that. I have no idea what does that do. But I didn't come that way. I flew in here, so I can't really say what reason that's for, or I'm not even gonna speculate on what reason that's for. Let's just stay on what they need in order to get the driver's license. They will need an official document from the government which has your name, birthday, and age, and the signature on it in order to obtain a driver's license. Okay, so you read the book, right? But you took the 5-hour class. All right, good. You come in, you have 5 points. Good. You did all the paperwork. You paid for the driver's license. It's all right. Cool. You've been driving 10, 15 years. Cool. 10, 15 years driving. You passed the test, driver's license test, when you went to apply for everything. Everything applied for, then they give you a date to drive for your driver's license. So you still, even after the 5-hour class, you still have to go drive with an instructor to get a signed thing so you can get your driver's license. Now, this is the tough part. Tell you my little own story. Now, personally, me, I've been driving since I was a little boy, 4 or 5. When my father lap and da 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 da, and I go run. You know what I mean? Whatever, I play drive, whatever it is. When I was 8 years old, I was tall, right? I'm over 6 foot, right? And I was tall. I wasn't over 6 foot at that time, but I was tall, is what I'm trying to say. So I was able to reach the pedal, the gas, and the brake, and everything. At 8 years old, I took my father's car. In it, a little bit, to something in it, drive. Now, I'm not gonna say officially I drove when I was 8, but I think I drove when I was 8. But that story's kind of fizzy in the old mind, yeah. But what I do know, when I was 13, I did take my dad's van and drive it over 2.5 hours to the country to get some much needed sound system equipment that I want. Like I said, I'm an international DJ. I had my first sound from like 14, 15. I built a whole actual sound system with boxes and people helping me at age 15, right? And actually had a gig to play on place in Portmore on the back road. That's the first place I got a gig where I was playing at this restaurant and stuff like that. But let's not leave off of the story. The point of the story is to say that I've been driving a very long time. So when I went to do the driving test, driving, brake, whatever it is, blink over turns, reverse park, a parallel park, me not even look. Me just do like one time I look at the mirror and I'm just parallel park as it done. Because remember, they're giving you more space than you actually need in the real world. You get what I'm saying? In the real world, you get, well, not in the real world, in the Bronx, New York world, everybody knows. If you from the Bronx, drop a comment below. Tell us about how bad the parking is. The Bronx parking is the worst parking if you live in the Bronx and you have to find a spot. Those spots are just enough to fit the car. So that's the kind of place I'm used to parking, right? And again, I have my international driver's license already. Let's talk about that. I have my international driver's license and I am driving in America, but no, I need to change over, right? Your boy I get sort out now, so I have to sort out the right paper then, right? So anyways, the examiner said, he gave me, I'm saying, all right then, take this. I'm saying, what is man say, hey, you fail. So I said, what? What someone fail? He said if I fail. I drove there, people. I drove to my driver's license exam. And he said when I drive, I failed. I did not keep my 2 hands on the steering. Again, this is American Guide. I did this to guide you here in America. Because I wish these are the things that I hope someone would have told me. And you're saying, well, you read the book, you did all that. Yes, I didn't read the book. No, I did not. But I passed the test. But I didn't pass the test as I expected to pass the test. I had to go back in the book and look and be like, oh, why do they call this? And why did they change this into this? And why this is now this and that is now this? And then I got to come to my own realization, even though I did pass the test, did have my 6 points and everything. That's why I'm doing this, to guide you. This is not dumb move. This is not being stupid. This is not being rude. This is just, I guess, thinking that you know, because black should be black everywhere, but black is not black everywhere, my friend. So, let's just put it like that. So I failed my first driver lesson test because I didn't keep 2 hands on the steering. It wasn't a matter of whether or not I can drive and be safe on the road. It's just a matter that I didn't put 2 hands on the steering. This is the kind of thing. So, of course, I turned around to him, which I shouldn't have, but I don't care. I turned around to him and told him, like, listen, man. I've been driving since I was 15 years old. By myself. 13 years old, by myself. First car I was in, I was 8 years old, officially also by myself. But I didn't go far. But I didn't move the car, but I didn't go far. But I had people watching me on the outside of the vehicle and telling me when to stop at 8. But at 13, I drove far. But I didn't go so long with him. This is what I said to him, verbatim. I said, listen, I've been driving since I was 13 years old. And I'm sure I've been driving before you even got your first. But as I said, I'm sure I've been driving before you got a job here, instructing people how to drive, or even before you know what a motor car is. And I got out of the car and I left. I don't know what else I say. That's not the point of the show tonight. The point of the show tonight is follow those 4 rules. And those 4 rules are to success. And the last 4th rule is when you get to the last day of the examination, you are not out of the woods yet. You need to keep your 2 hands on the steering. You need to do the 1-point turn. You need to look in the rearview mirror here. You need to look in the rearview mirror. You need to look in both mirrors. You need to look. You gotta do everything just like the book says here in America, in order to obtain the American driver's license. Okay? Thank you for watching, liking, sharing, and your subscription. It means a lot to a King Reserve Nation crew. Big up yourself, the man. Remember, guys, you reserve the right to be happy. So, take it easy on the road. All right?
In the mirror, I see a great man, but look in the mirror. I see a great man.